Mario Kart for Switch 2 is the first all-new Mario Kart game since 2014, which means it's got a huge amount of expectations to live up to. One way I think it'll be able to fulfill is by having a cool name to go along with whatever the game is going to be offering. Now at the moment, we know little to nothing about this new entry, aside from the characters having new models which look marvelous by the way. Although DK with his movie design is something that's going to take a while for me to get used to. Frankly, I'm hoping that the title goes by something that's a bit more unique rather than just something as generic as Kart 9, 10, or Kart X, which is what most people have been speculating. Just take a quick gander at the many titles we've had in the past. There was Super, 64, Super Circuit, Double Dash, DS, Wii, and then just 7 and 8. You also had Tour and Live Home Circuit, which were good enough and got the job done, better than just 2 numbers in my opinion. Like, yeah, we get it. It signifies that these are the 7th and 8th games in the series to be released, and of course to go along with the Lucky 7 and Crazy 8 items. 10 in particular wouldn't be a smart idea since folks often believe that Tour is the real Mario Kart 9, even though people like me think otherwise. Because I simply believe that a mobile game counting as a mainline game makes no sense. So jumping from 8 to 10 would be way too confusing since I guarantee there's at least one person out there who hasn't played or even heard of Mario Kart Tour. Besides, naming a new title for a series with a number is better off as a Mario Party thing than a Mario Kart thing, since these racing games are clearly a lot more. But enough of that, let's get into some suggestions for names to give the new Mario Kart. Now first off, we've got Mario Kart Switch, or Switch 2. Yeah, obviously these aren't the most inventive names and shouldn't be the final title since they are pretty basic. Kart DS worked for me because the term DS can only be used when talking about Nintendo and isn't a word on its own. Same can kinda be said for Kart Wii since back then and especially now, the word Wii was a cool name that most people can immediately recognize. But Switch? Not so much. Considering how recent Mario games have been having unique names for their titles such as Wonder, Showtime, and Jamboree, I think we could see a name like one of those being the case here. Something like Double Dash would be greatly appreciated. Now how about Mario Kart Ultimate? At first it may sound very plain, but let's say for example this game could feature every single racetrack alongside every racer from the series including new ones. That theory sounds extremely unlikely, but if that were the case, then the name Ultimate would suit it best. These next few ones would make a lot more sense to fit the racing theme. Mario Kart Asphalt, Mario Kart Full Throttle, and Mario Kart Rally. Like if Nintendo just wanted to have the name go along with the main objective in the game, those 3 would feel right at home. Mario Kart World. I would say this title sounds good, if Tour didn't already exist. Although if the gimmick of the game were to be something like more open tracks or something, then maybe it would fit. With that in mind, can you imagine there being a story mode with this new entry? Here's one that's bound to not happen. Mario Kart Crossroads. Nintendo wouldn't be dumb enough to have the name be similar to another racing game that's also coming out later this year. But if Sega were able to get away with using the name Dream Team, then maybe Nintendo will be lucky enough as well. And let's say if there was going to be a much bigger emphasis on the battle mode with this new game. Maybe something like Mario Kart Rumble would work best for that. And finally, here are some other throwaway names that I've got on my mind. Mario Kart Off-Road, Mario Kart Horizon, Mario Kart Burnout, Mario Kart Turbo, Mario Kart Nitro, and lastly, Mario Kart Victory Lane. Now, this one wasn't exactly my idea since I just found this photoshopped image from 2009 on Google and brought it up because of how silly it sounded. I'm completely fine with the name being anything that isn't a number or letter, really. I'll try not to be too upset if the team does decide to go basic and call it Mario Kart 9 or 10, though. But Mario Kart X? No. And that'll be it from me. Be sure to let me know your suggestions for names you'd like for the new Mario Kart game to have. Believe me when I say that I have a million more ideas on my mind, but I'll leave it to you guys now. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.